Trisha the knitting lady. I'm down at the beach today. Decided to take a walk on the beach. It's a little, I don't know, there's a haze out there. And the little ones are in the splash pool. So cute. Look at this sign by the little poles to wash off your feet. I guess can't take a shower here. Funny. I don't know if you can hear me, but I've been watching this little one. Well, this one's not as little as the one I saw before. Hanging out in the waves. So my phone was heating up as I was walking along. I had to figure out a way to keep the phone from heating up. I was like, what does that orange flag mean? And it says, has a cross on boats, so I guess you can't go out there with rowboats. And the kids are playing in the splash pool. I have never heard of beach rack. It says rack is stuff cast ashore by the sea. Much of this material once grew in the sea like seaweeds and seagrass. I didn't know that. Learn something new every day. I did remember to put my hat on today. It does make my head sweat though. That's the problem I have with hats. I know you should wear them to protect your eyes from the sun. So, I'm leaving the beach. See you later. Hi. I'm back. I'm back in the house. I'm going to go out in a little bit. Going to go to karaoke. I'm going to maybe get the guts to get up there and sing tonight. I have to decide what I'm going to wear. It's funny. Women dress up going to the Moose Lodge. It's fun. It's really funny. It's definitely not that casual. The men could care less. They dress any old way, but I do have like dresses, summer dresses that I'll wear. I don't know what I'll wear tonight. I'll decide. I'll look in my closet. I have to eat something first. I ate lunch and I'm still hungry. And I don't feel like going and paying for something. They have steak tonight at the lodge, but I don't feel like eating steak. So I'll eat something quick before I go. Maybe I'll have a sandwich. I have to watch out what bread I use. I tell you, being pre-diabetic is a pain in the neck. It really is. Of course, I could just ignore it all, but I don't want to wind up taking insulin. And I am losing weight, so that's good. So today's the 10th of August. And did you know on this day in 1962, Marvel's comic superhero SpiderMan first appeared? I thought it was earlier than that. We were big comic book readers when we were young. In fact, my mother would take us to the grocery store to go shopping, and to keep us busy, she would buy us a comic. I think my sister was too young. She would stay with my mother in the shopping cart. But my brother and I would get a comic book each, and we would sit outside the grocery store and read our comic books. And I was a big superhero fan. My favorite superhero has always been Batman. I liked Superman too, but Batman was my favorite. But I remember when reading a comic with Spider-Man, and I thought it was earlier in 1962. It must have been. You know, because 1962, I would have been 9 years old. I don't know. I don't know if that date's right. I'm gonna have to check on that. Maybe it just first appeared in one comic. It might have appeared something else. Yeah, it appeared in issue 15 of Amazing Fantasy. I don't know. So, I found some trivia that I thought was interesting. Best movie set in each state. I didn't go through every state, of course, but where a lot of these movies were filmed. To Kill a Mockingbird was Alabama. Raising Arizona was Arizona. The Shining, of course, was Colorado. Stephen King and his wife Tabitha spent a night in room 217 of the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. Apparently, they were only guests in a supposedly haunted hotel, and that's where he got the idea for The Shining. I could never get over the carpet in that hotel. I know, I notice the craziest things, don't I? I always notice carpets in hotels, you know, because some of them are so obnoxious. You know, you're like, whose idea was it to put this carpet? They must have got it for a discount price or something. Dead Poets Society, I didn't notice. It was filmed in Delaware, particularly St. Andrew's School in Middletown, Delaware. Of course, Scarface is Florida, Al Pacino, which I've never been a fan of that movie. I don't like real violent movies, even though Al Pacino said that was his favorite role. Hawaii was From Here to Eternity. That's one of my favorite movies, even though it came out in the 50s. Iowa, Field of Dreams. The actual field in Dubuque, D-U-B-U-Q-U-E, debunk, I don't know. See, I'm terrible. In the county, Dubuque County, maybe, remains a tourist attraction. You know, every video I have to mispronounce something. You know that. It wouldn't be a video unless Trisha mispronounced some word or made a fool of herself trying to pronounce it. Kentucky was Coal Miner's Daughter. New Jersey was On the Waterfront, filmed in Hoboken, New Jersey. I think I've mentioned that before. I used to work in Hoboken at the train station there. In fact, that was my first job on the railroad. I worked in the Hoboken terminal in customer service. And they used to call commuter relations. But it's a beautiful terminal in Hoboken. Now Hoboken, you can't afford to live there. It used to be a real dive, you know, was not well thought of. And of course, they had a lot of, you know, I'm trying to think what's the right word. You know, a lot of ships, a lot of boarding, you know, cargo and everything from Hoboken. It was a little seedy. Seedy's a better word. North Carolina, Blue Velvet. In fact, if you've ever seen the movie Blue Velvet, where the apartment building is the actual apartment building in Wilmington, North Carolina. And I didn't live too far from there. It's on the corner of Market and Fifth. It's kind of, they haven't done much to the building since they filmed that movie. Pennsylvania was a deer hunter, and that was near Pittsburgh. But when I saw that movie, what really stood out to me was the wedding scene. They hired the big hall, and it was very informal. And that, my mother came from Pennsylvania. That was a Pennsylvania wedding to me. In fact, if I had had a bigger wedding, that's what I wanted to do, was hire just hire a hall, people bring food or you have it catered. Casual, really. No set seats for anyone. That's what I was used to. Texas, No Country for Old Men. Now, this book by Cormac McCarthy, I thought was the best adaptation of a book I've ever seen. It's, of course, a very violent movie, but it really followed the book, because a lot of times they changed the book. Now, I'm trying to think of the book by Cormac McCarthy that won the Pulitzer. It was about the really end of, after a nuclear war, and almost like the end of the war, end of the world. Now I can't remember it. I will think of it eventually. But Cormac McCarthy, his books are kind of dismal. Anyway, not happy times, that's for sure. Wyoming, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and Devil's Tower is there. I remember seeing Devil's Tower when I went to Wyoming. And that's some of the states I thought of. Of course, there's other states, but I didn't want to go through all 50. And what popular form of exercise is named for a person? And that's Pilates. It was named for Joseph Pilates. Which reminds me I should do a little bit more Pilates. I try to stay on top of exercise, I really do, even if it's just walking on the beach. Of course, walking barefoot on the beach is supposedly very good for your feet. I, knock on wood, have not had any foot problems. I know a lot of people get foot problems, bunions, or whatever else. I have been fortunate in that respect, even with the marathons I used to do. But I didn't run the marathons, I race walked them. That could be why, because when you race walk, there is no, if you do it properly, there's no stress on your body. And I've mentioned that before, maybe I should do a video how you properly race walk. And it's not, you have to move your arms as you move your body. There's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. And I was trained properly. Now, race walking is usually an Olympic sport. I haven't checked that out this year. I don't know if they did away with that or they still have it. So that's about it. I will talk to you later, and I'm going to get ready and go out. Take care.